The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. N. Clason. Excerpts. A lean purse is easier to cure than endure. To bring your ambitions and desire to fulfillment, you must be successful with money. Like the law of gravity, they are universal and unchanging. Success means accomplishments as the result of our own efforts and abilities. Our acts can be no wiser than our thoughts. Our thinking can be no wiser than our understanding. Money is the medium by which earthly success is measured. Money makes possible the enjoyment of the best the earth affords. Money is plentiful for those who understand the simple laws which govern it. Money is governed today by the same laws which controlled it when prosperous men thronged the streets of Babylon 6,000 years ago. Chapter 1. The Man Who Desired Gold. 2. The Richest Man in Babylon. 3. 7 Cures for a Lean Purse. 4. Meet the Goddess of Good Luck. 5. The 5 Laws of Gold. 6. The Gold Lender of Babylon. 7. The Walls of Babylon. 8. The Camel Trader of Babylon. 9. The Clay Tablets from Babylon. 10. The Luckiest Man in Babylon. 1. As youngsters we went together to the priest to learn wisdom. We do not wish to go on year after year living slavish lives, working, getting nowhere. Might we not find out how others acquire gold and do as they do? A man's wealth is not in the purse he carries. A fat purse quickly empties if there be no golden stream to refill it. Income, that is the thing. Income that will keep flowing into your purse. Whether you sit upon the wall or travel to far lands, it costs nothing to ask wise advice from a good friend. I realize the reason why we have never found any measure of wealth. We never sought it. To those things toward which we exert our best endeavors, we succeed. It biddeth us to learn more that we may prosper more. With a new understanding, we shall find honorable ways to accomplish our desires. You were ever so thoughtful of thy friends, therefore hast thou many friends. 2. If you have not acquired more than a bare existence, it is because you either have failed to learn the laws that govern the building of wealth, or you do not observe them. Fickle fate brings ruin to whom she showers unearned gold. She makes wanton spenders. Wealth increases the potency of all the good things that bring happiness and contentment. Wealth is a power. With wealth many things are possible, not being endowed with superior powers or wisdom. If we are to achieve what we desire, time and study will be required. As for time, all men have it in abundance. We have let slip by sufficient time to have made ourselves wealthy. Learning is of 2 kinds. One kind being the things we learned and knew, the other being the training that taught us how to find out what we did not know. Therefore decide to find out how one may accumulate wealth. Let not food and clothing and penance to the gods, and other things of which you remember not what, absorb all your earnings.
An old tongue loves to wag, and when youth comes to age for advice, he receives the wisdom of years. The road to wealth is when you decide that a part of all you earned was yours to keep. You pay the garment maker, you pay the sandal maker, you pay for the things you eat. You can't live without spending. What have you to show for your earnings of last month? What for the past year? You pay to everyone but yourself. You labor for others. As well be a slave and work for what your master gives you to eat and wear. If you did keep 10% of all you earn, how much will you have in 10 years? This is but half the truth. Every gold piece you save is a slave to work for you. Every copper it earns is its child that also can earn for you. If you would become wealthy, then what you save must. A part of all you earn is yours to keep. It should not be less than 10% no matter how little you earn. It can be much more, as you can afford. Pay yourself first. Do not buy from clothes maker or sandal maker more than you can pay from the balance, so you can have enough for food and charity and penance to the God. Wealth like a tree grows from a tiny seed. The first copper you save is the seed from which your tree of wealth shall grow. The sooner you plant that seed, the sooner shall the tree grow, and the more faithfully you nourish and water the tree with consistent savings, the sooner may you bask in contentment beneath its shade. Every fool must learn. Never trust the knowledge of a brickmaker about jewels. Have the power to think. If you've lost your savings by wrong investment, plant another, try again. If you would have advice about jewels, go to the jewel maker. If you would know the truth about sheep, go to the herdsman. Advice is one thing that is freely given away, but watch that you take only what is worth having. Form the habit of saving and it will no longer be difficult. Don't eat the children of your savings. First get thee an army of golden slaves, and then many a rich banquet may you enjoy without regret. First learn how to live upon less than you can earn. Second, learn to seek advice from those who are competent through their own experience to give it. Lastly, learn to make gold work for you. Then you have taught yourself the 3 laws of handling money. 1. How to acquire money. 2. How to keep it. 3. And how to use it. Don't give only thought to spending and not to earning. Have the desire to prosper. Prove your definiteness of purpose by keeping 10% of all you earn. Would you call a fisherman lucky who for years so studied the habits of the fish that, with each changing wind he could cast his nets about him? Opportunity is a haughty goddess who wastes any time with those who are unprepared. Willpower is but the unflinching purpose to carry a task you set for yourself to fulfillment. Therefore be careful not to start difficult and impractical tasks, because there's time for leisure. Wealth grows wherever men exert energy. Wealth comes from ships of commerce on the seas. A part of all I earn is mine to keep. Say it to yourself until the words stand out like letters of fire across the sky. Ensure an income for the future. Look thou at the aged, and forget not that in the days to come thou also will be numbered amongst them. Therefore invest thy treasure with caution that it be not lost. Usurious rates of return are deceitful sirens. Provide also that thy family may not want should the gods call thee to their realms. For such protection, it is always possible to make provision, with small payments at regular intervals. Counsel with wise men. Seek advice of men whose daily work is handling money. A small return and a safe one is far more desirable than risk. Enjoy life while you are here. Do not overstrain or try to save too much. If 10% of all you earn is as much as you can comfortably keep, be content to keep this portion. Life is good, and life is rich with things worthwhile and things to enjoy. Have imagination and ability to understand. Be ready for opportunity. Men of broad experience are always glad to give wisdom freely. Invest your savings to bring good interest with safety, so it would not be lost nor entangled in investment that paid no dividends. 3. The riches of Babylon were the result of the wisdom of its people. They first had to learn how to become wealthy. There are a few rich men of our city. Why should so few men be able to acquire all the gold? Because they know how. Who knows best in all our city to become wealthy? Thy question answers itself, your majesty, who has amassed the greatest wealth in Babylon. How did you become so wealthy? By taking advantage of opportunities available to all citizens of our good city. I had nothing to start with, only a great desire for wealth. A few men know how to acquire wealth and therefore monopolize it, while the mass of our citizen lack the knowledge of how to keep any part of the gold they receive. That which one man knows can be taught to others. The first storehouse of your treasure is a well-worn purse. Each of you must start wisely to build a fortune if his own. The first step leading to the temple of wealth, and no man may climb who cannot plant his feet firmly upon the first step. The 7 cures for a lean purse are: first cure, start thy purse to fattening. What craft workest thou? What dost thou do to earn thy bread? Because thou also labor and earn, thou hast every advantage to succeed. Each of the ways of earning is a stream of gold by which the worker diverts a portion to his own purse. If you desire to build yourself a fortune, start utilizing the source of wealth which you have established. Truth is always simple. It is the law of the gods that unto him who keeps and spends not a certain part of all his earnings shall gold come more easily. Likewise him whose purse is empty, gold avoids.
Substantial belongings are gold, lands, herds, merchandise, income-bringing investments. All these are made possible by the coins you leave in your purse. Second cure, control your expenditure. What each of us calls our necessary expenses will always grow to equal our income. Unless we protest to the contrary, Confuse not the necessary expenses with thy desires. All men are burdened with more desires than they can gratify. Just as weeds grow in a field wherever the farmer leaves space for their roots, even so freely do desires grow in men, whenever there is possibility of them being gratified. Study thoughtfully thy accustomed habits of living. Let your motto be 100% of appreciated value demanded for each scion spent. The purpose of a budget is to help thy purse to fatten. Budget thy expenses that you may have coins to pay for your necessities, your enjoyments. Third cure, make your gold multiply. Gold in a purse is gratifying to own and satisfies a miserly soul, but earns nothing. A man's wealth is not the coins he carries in his purse. It is in the income he builds, the golden stream that continues to flow into your purse. An income that continues to come whether you work or travel is what you desire. Fourth cure, guard your treasures from loss. Gold in a man's purse must be guarded with firmness, lest it be lost. The first sound principle of investment is security for thy principal. The penalty for risk is probable loss. Study carefully before parting with thy treasure. Be not misled by your own romantic desires to make wealth rapidly. Before you entrust your treasure as an investment in any field, acquaint yourself with the dangers which may beset it. Better consult the wisdom of those experienced in handling money for profit. Guard your treasure by investing only where your principal is safe. The fifth cure, make of your dwelling a profitable investment. If you can turn any part of your earning into a profitable investment without detriment to your well-being, then so much faster will your wealth grow. Don't raise your family in unseemly quarters. No man's family can fully enjoy life unless they do have a plot of ground where children can play in clean earth and where the wife can raise good rich herbs to feed the family. To a man's heart it brings gladness to eat the figs from his own trees and the grapes from his own vines. Therefore do I recommend that every man own the roof that shelters him and his family. The sixth cure, ensure a future income. Make preparation for a suitable income in the days to come when you are no longer young. Plan certain investments or provision that may endure safely for many years.
A man may buy houses or lands for this purpose, if wisely chosen as to their usefulness and value in the future. They are permanent in their value, and their earnings or sales will provide well for his purpose. A man may also loan a small sum to the money lender and increase it at regular periods. But because we live in our own days and not in the days which are to come, must we take advantage of those means and ways of accomplishing our purpose. For a lean purse to a man no longer able to earn, or to a family without its head, is a sore tragedy. Provide therefore in advance for the needs of thy growing age and the protection of thy family. The seventh cure, increase thy ability to earn. What do you do to increase your capacity to earn? As a man perfecteth himself in his calling, even so his ability to earn increase. More interest in your work, more concentration upon your task, more persistence in your effort, and few men will surpass you in your field. The more of wisdom we know, the more we may earn. That man who seeks to learn more of his craft shall be richly rewarded. Keen-minded men seek greater skill, that they may better serve those whose patronage they depend. Therefore all men should be in the front rank of progress, and not to stand still, lest they be left behind. The following a man must do, if he respect himself and wants to be rich with gainful experience. 1. He must pay his debts with all the promptness within his power, not purchasing that for which he is unable to pay. 2. He must take care of his family that they may think and speak well of him. 3. He must make a will of record that, in case the gods call him, proper and honorable division of his property be accomplished. 4. He must have compassion on those who are injured or smitten by misfortune, and aid them within reasonable limits. 5. He must do deeds of thoughtfulness to those dear to him. Thus the seventh and last remedy for a lean purse is to cultivate thy own powers, to study and become wiser, to become more skillful, to so act as to respect thyself. Chapter 5. Meet the goddess of good luck. If a man be lucky, there is no foretelling the possible extent of his good fortune. Pitch him into the Euphrates and like as not he will swim out with a pearl in his hand. The desire to be lucky is universal. Good luck waits to come to that man who accepts opportunity. Opportunity waits for no man. Any man who does not step quick when opportunity comes is a big procrastinator. The wisdom of making a payment immediately when convinced our bargain is wise. Mortals are changeable, more apt to change our minds when right than wrong. My first judgment is my best. Spirit of procrastination from within urges various delay in our acceptance. A habit of needles delaying where action is required. Action prompt and decisive. To attract good luck to oneself, it is necessary to take advantage of opportunities. Good luck follows opportunity. Good luck can be enticed by accepting opportunity. Men'th action please her best. Action will lead thee forward to the successes you desire. Men of action are favored the goddess of good luck. To the building of an estate there must always be the beginning. With all men, that first step which changes them from men, who earn from their own labor, to men, who draw dividends from the earnings of their gold, is important. Chapter 5. The 5 Laws of Gold. A bag heavy with gold, or a clay tablet carved with words of wisdom. If thou hast thy choice, which would you choose? Gold is reserved for those who know its laws and abide by them. If you seek wisdom first, your gold will not be lost. The first law of gold. Gold comes gladly and I'm increasing quantity to any man who will put by not less than 1/10 of his earnings to create an estate for his future and his family. The second law of gold. Gold labors diligently for the wise owner who finds for it profitable employment, multiplying even as the flocks of the field. The third law of gold. Gold clings to the protection of the cautious owner, who invests it under the advice of men wise in its handling. The fourth law of gold. Gold slips away from the man who invests it in businesses or purposes with which he is not familiar, or which are not approved by those skilled in its keep. The fifth law of gold. Gold flees the man who would force it to impossible earnings, or who follows the alluring advice of tricksters and schemers, or who trust it to his own inexperience and romantic desires in investment.